going to talk about some good teams. We're going to talk about the best teams in the league. We're going to sit here and we're going to rank the top 5 teams in the NFL. We've got one undefeated team left. We had another undefeated team left, and then they lost to some absolute dogs. Or maybe some absolute cats. Maybe some really big fucking cats.
What?
The Lions. I fucked it up. Almost said the Lions. Damn it. I was floating.
So nice.
I was floating.
So nice.
Fuck. All right. So top 5 teams in the NFL. We're just going to give our list and kind of react to them.
All right, you know what, Pete? Go ahead. Get us started.
Yeah, so you want me to go in order?
From 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
From 5 to 1. All right.
Nah, don't go in order. Start with the number 3 team.
No, I didn't know if you wanted us to do top 5 in a certain order or just the top 5
No,
that
just
we
give
think
us
turn
your 5 to 1.
So at number 5, I'm going the Washington Commanders. Look,
Wait, sorry. This is based on what we've seen so far, right? We're not projecting here.
Correct. This is
Well, yeah.
how they've been playing.
No.
I think there's a little bit of projection that goes into this.
Okay. No,
There's
I'm
a
just
little bit of
asking
projection
because
that
it
goes into this.
changes.
That's
my
fine. Yeah.
list a
No, I'm
little bit.
definitely
I'd
projecting
say
a little bit. Yeah.
look at it like 85 to 90% of what we've seen in the
So this
10%.
is more like a power rank.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So at number 5, I'm going the Washington Commanders. They're currently leading the NFC East in wins right now. Look, looking at the other options here, I feel like Jaden Daniels has just been kind of doing,
Dogging.
you know, what.
Hope he's okay, by the way.
Yeah, I hope he's
Yeah.
okay. I'm sure he's okay.
Mom said he's okay, so I believe
just
her.
like-
She probably has a medical degree.
And I think it was just like a rib injury.
Seems reliable.
Or it's her son, and he's, you know.
I think it was like it's something with his rib or something. I think,
Yeah.
or whatever. But
They were up 27-0 when he went out, or 20 something like that. So
nah,
you know,
dude,
you're
they
not
got
gonna
a
put him
great
back
team,
in.
bro. They got Terry McLaurin. They got
Yep.
what's it called fucking Robinson,
Ryan Robinson,
running,
Austin
and, you know,
Eckler.
they have a team that could
Everybody's
like.
eating.
They have a team that's getting it done, and like I'm very comfortable putting them at 5.
Sure.
Not any higher than that, but I think right there is perfect. At number 4, I'm going with the Vikings. Sam Darnold, I love you, but also
Probably some mixed feelings about
you
Sam
hear that?
Darnold.
He
you know?
loves you.
There's some.
There's a
feelings
Jet
there.
fan out there that loves you.
Yeah,
Probably a
wish-
few of them now that you're good, but
I wish you were doing this for us for the Jets, but
Yeah.
it goes back to so much coaching and there's so much more. But
enough about the Jets.
yeah, also the Vikings have the weapons to get that have been getting everything done. You know,
yeah.
what's it called? Aaron Jones, fucking
Yup.
Jetta. Like they have more
They're
than enough
stacked.
weapons to wear.
Stacked.
And TJ
Yeah.
Hawkinson is
Jordan,
yet to come back.
Yep, and he has
I
yet to
think
come
he's
back.
back this week.
He should be back this week.
Jordan
yep.
Addison getting comfortable with things, you know, like there's a lot there that where I'm very comfortable putting him at 4, which I didn't think I was going to even be able to have him on this list at
Right.
the beginning of the year.
Nobody did.
Going at number 3, I am going to have to go with the Ravens. Some people might put them higher than the top 3, but I'm going to put them at 3, and you'll see why. At number 2, I'm going to have to put the Lions.
Hell
Every
yeah.
single team that versus the Lions goes into the next week limping, bro. Like, I just feel like their defense is just kind of carrying them a long way to where the offense has the ability to thrive, and that offense, man, is not one to fuck around with, bro.
Hell no.
You got 2 guys at running back that could easily take the starting role, and like that's like a dream scenario for any team.
They're
to
both
have.
Gibbs are
Yeah,
studs.
it's just like it's like any team's dream scenario to have 2 guys. You're like, fuck, we don't even know who to start. We're gonna play both of them.
Yep.
And now they each are, they have energy the whole game.
Too much
and-
talent is never an issue.
Yeah, they have too much talent, and it's like it's rare that you see a team though sometimes where there's too much talent and they still do thrive throughout the
Yeah.
season. Like sometimes too much talent,
yeah.
too much chef spoils the soup, however the saying goes. But they're getting it done.
I don't know. if
That was a good one.
that's saying.
No, I think it
Yeah.
is.
That's
Too
a
many,
real-
too many chefs spoil the soup. That
Yeah,
makes
it's a
sense.
real saying.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Sounds
Um,
plausible.
Too many cooks in the kitchen or some shit.
No, well,
Number 1.
That's another one. And at number 1, goes unsaid, the Chiefs. It's a weird 6-0 that they're up to that. Me and Tom were talking about it before, but
6-0,
a very hard fought 6-0. But they're 6-0. They're number 1 for me, and
Hell
they're
yeah.
number 1 statistically right
Hell yeah.
now in wins.
All right, so my number 5 team in the NFL is the Buffalo Bills. I'll throw it out there now. I left the Vikings off my list. It's just a quarterback thing. That's why I had to clarify if this is only based on what we've seen
Right,
so
yeah,
far
yeah.
or projecting a little. If it was only based on what we've seen so far, I would have had to have the Vikings on my
Right.
list, 100%. They just played a great game against the Lions, which they easily could have won. fought back through adversity in that game too, which was just, we saw, the Vikings had some cupcake games, also some really tough games, but to see them start the game up by 10, then go down by double digits and fight back, like it was great to see. Obviously, the defense is playing out of their mind. Brian Flores is a wizard. The offense is rolling. Sam Darnold's playing some good ball, but I just don't trust Sam Darnold at the end of the day. So my number 5 team is the Bills. They just got Amari Cooper, and we saw the dividends they played when he barely was even out there. Buddy didn't even know what route he was running. He asked Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman probably didn't even know either. He just said, go over there.
Run a post.
And Josh Allen just zipped him a touchdown. Shout out to Coop. Shout out to A Sleazy. A Sleazy. But yeah, and this defense is, like I said a few weeks ago, I was wrong about the Bills defense because if Sean McDermott's going to do anything, he's going to get the most out of his players defensively. We see it time and time again. These guys just come out of nowhere. Whenever the Bills deal with an injury, they just, we always talk about it in basketball. You just got to have that next man up mentality. And the Bills just, I think they embody that more than any team in the NFL, honestly, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So getting Amari Cooper fills it, like we said last week, it fills their only hole. So I think this is as complete of a football team as we have in the league, with Josh Allen playing the best ball of his career and, still has yet to throw an interception, which is just absurd for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
It's absurd. Yeah. At number 4, I got to put the Packers. I got to put the Pack, man.
Let's fucking go, Chris.
I said I didn't know if the defense was sticky, and they keep showing week after week.
Didn't even force a turnover, by the way.
It's sticky. That's what I needed to see. I needed to see the Packers have a great defensive performance without it being because they forced turnovers. Yep. And they completely shut out
Stroud.
They completely shut out CJ Stroud and the Texans. Tank Dell with a fat goose egg. And then Jordan Love. I mean, Jordan Love, he's going to throw an interception. But after that interception, the man is fucking Tom Brady.
He's got so much Favre in him, bro.
I called him the Brett Favre of Jameis Winston's.
Yeah, like literally. I mean, he's tied with Mahomes with 8 interceptions. Both of them have 8 interceptions, but the conversation, yeah, it's so absurd. But the conversation's completely different. Mahomes, it's this guy sucks. Put the fries in the bag, bro. And Jordan Love, it's oh my god, he's the greatest ever. Listen, he does some shit that it's like, holy shit, this guy's the greatest ever. But that's what it is. That's why it's hard to trust the Packers, just because of the variance. Like I said, on the defensive side of the ball, there was variance. But after that last performance, I think this defense is elite. I'll give them they're a top 7 defensive unit in the league, I'll say, just off the top of my head without looking at stats or anything. And Jordan Love, any given week, can be the best quarterback in the whole league. So you got to put the Packers at 4, especially after that performance. At number 3, this is where I'm going to put the Detroit Lions. I'd love to put them higher, but I just can't put them over the teams I have at 2 and 1. They're an absolute unit, though. I don't really need to say much about the Lions. I can't do it. My number 2 team is the Baltimore.
The Jets. The Dolphins.
At number 2, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I really wanted to put them at 1, and I kind of wish we did this list just based on what we've seen so far this year, because I wanted to put them at 1 so fucking bad. The way they're playing right now, look, the defense obviously got a little bit worse from last year, but we just saw last night they had a great game. Obviously, the Bucs scored some garbage time touchdowns to make it closer than it seemed.
Baker also
handed them the game.
Helped them out a little bit.
Yeah, but they had a really good defensive performance. And then just this guy Lamar just gets better and better every year. It's not normal. He was the MVP last year. He's a 2-time MVP, and he's playing the best ball of his career, coming off a 5 passing touchdown night. And then, like we said last week, it's just that peanut butter and jelly with Derrick Henry. I mean, we always knew the passing game looks a little bit easier for Lamar because of the threat of his legs. So he sees looks that other quarterbacks don't see, which, lighten things up on him. But then you add the best running back in the NFL, and it opens up everything else more. And just, the passing game, it's effortless for them right now.
Yeah.
They're the best offense in the NFL right now, and to me, it's not really close right now, and it's just so effortless for them. And I really want to put them at 1, but I just can't do it. My number 1 team is the Kansas City Chiefs. I've said it time and time again. they are the best team in football until proven otherwise, and they're yet to lose a goddamn game. They just keep finding a way. They are the best defense in the NFL. They're the best at winning close games. When you got to have it, they have it. Even in a game where Pat Mahomes plays like dog shit.
Which is all of them. It's been all of them.
He'll run you over to ice the game.
That was nuts.
That was crazy.
He'll put you in a body bag to ice the game. The man just finds a way. And I know it's fun to shit on Patrick Mahomes right now because he's not playing too well. The man's going to figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
The man's going to figure it out.
No doubt in my mind.
And instead of...
he's also trying shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
regular
they're
season,
trying
bro,
shit,
he's trying shit.
Yeah. And
So,
instead of shitting on Patrick Mahomes and having fun taking jabs at him, the media and the national consensus should be shitting their pants that the Chiefs are able to win games like this. So, like I said, until proven otherwise, they just have to be at number one.
Sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll go next. I like the list. At number 5, I do have the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know how much of Sam Darnold, and I know the first few weeks he looked lights out, like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I think we knew that wasn't sustainable, but I think he can be good enough to keep this Vikings team at the top, near the top, because everything around him is basically perfect. I mean, this offensive line is amazing. The system, Kevin O'Connell can scheme me open. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in football. T.J. Hawkinson's coming back. Aaron Jones been playing some damn good ball. And this Brian Flores defense has been amazing. So at 5, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. At 4, I have the Green Bay Packers. The thing about the Packers is you said their defense has been elite. It's gotten better every week. And Xavier McKinney, I mean, if there was a safety that was going to win Defensive Player of the Year, there may be another one out there. But Xavier McKinney deserves to be in that damn conversation. I mean, the man just makes big play after big play constantly. And then Jordan Love, it's like, yeah, like I said, Brett Favre and Jameis Winston's. He's going to chuck that ball downfield, and you're going to be like, what the hell are you doing? And then he's going to go chuck the ball downfield again. It's going to be like, that's the greatest play I've ever seen. Yeah. And shout out Josh Jacobs getting his first receiving touchdown. He went 200 catches without a touchdown.
More than 200, yeah.
207, I think it was.
It was like,
But the offense looks great, and the defense looks great despite Rashawn Gary not playing well and Kenny Clark not being well, who were usually rock solid for them on that side of the ball, and they haven't looked good this season. And still, they're figuring it out. So, Green Bay Packers, absolute wagon. At number 3, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Chris, I love everything you said about them, and you can interchange these top 3, kind of. At least 2 and 3 you can interchange, I think, and it's fine. Derrick Henry, I mean, I don't know who allowed those two to play together, Derrick Henry and Lamar, and then you put Pat Ricard back there and you put that offensive line back there. It's not fair. I saw Derrick Henry do a spin move last night. My heart almost stopped. Derrick Henry should not be allowed to do spin moves. I mean, it's just not fair. And then Zay Flowers looks like a real legit wide receiver 1 right now, and Mark Andrews coming back to life. Who knew? Defense doesn't look as great as last year, but their offense is so damn good. It hasn't mattered. Lamar's throwing 5 touchdowns, like you said. Won an MVP last year. Probably on his way to another one. At number 2, I have the brand new Detroit Lions. They lost Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, they lost Aiden Hutchinson. The heart and soul of their defense looked like they didn't even miss him in this one at some points. Brian Branch was that other safety I mentioned that should be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversations. This guy makes big play after big play for this Detroit Lions team. This secondary has looked elite. The run game, 2-headed monster. Montgomery went down, limped off the field, and I was like, well, that's not good. This is really bad. And then a few minutes later, he's back. He's back in there, running all over him once again. Yep. And then guess what? They got Jahmyr Gibbs, another fantastic running back, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and just guys making plays all over the field. And Jared Goff, dealing. He was dealing in this one. And even when they went up by a bunch of touchdowns, I texted in the chat, and I was like, Lions are the best team in football right now, right? And we were like, yeah, it's not even close. And then they let the Vikings come back, and then they still pulled out and won a close one. So those are things you love to see. And at number 1, 6-0, undefeated. Pat Mahomes and the boys. The Chiefs didn't play offense this week and won a football game. Like, how do they lose? Like seriously, like, how do they lose? If Pat Mahomes is out there literally trying to lose you football games and still you come out and in the end you pull away and separate yourself. Anytime you need a big play, a big stop on 3rd down, whatever it is, Spags in the defense, they're going to step up. Chris Jones, he's going to make the play. Trent McDuffie, going to make the play. Some random fucking fourth stringer, going to make the play because that's just what the Chiefs do.
People also aren't understanding that just because Pat Mahomes is playing bad, that he's also still showing up in these gotta have it moments.
Right.
Week in and week out. And every single gotta have it moment, he's still showing up. Yeah. So
and it's a 6-0 and they're not getting up at these podiums and saying, yeah, man, we're just playing some good ball and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. No, they're not satisfied at all. They hate that they're winning. Yeah. They hate that they're winning. I almost don't want them to lose a game because of what might come after that, you know? So 6-0 speaks for itself, number 1 team in the NFL.
Yes, so I'm actually surprised that 2 people on this couch had the Packers ranked higher than I did. I have the Packers at number 5. And I put the Packers at number 5 because at number 4, simply put, this quarterback is just better than the other quarterback, and that's the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen obviously just played one of the best games that he's played all season, and it's the first game that Amari Cooper comes in. And not to mention, who else played the best game of their season in the first game that Amari Cooper played? Keon Coleman. Coleman.
So the easy thing to say is, well, look at the way Amari Cooper's taking the stress off of Keon Coleman. Twitter nerds did, yeah?
Yep.
Twitter nerd, you know what I'm going to say?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't.
Twitter nerds did, some watching the game back. Keon Coleman, on all his targets, Amari Cooper was not on the field for a single one of them.
Really?
Not one
Yeah,
of them.
Keon Coleman just had a good game.
That's
and he
awesome.
was cooking.
Yeah, he just had a good game. It had nothing to do with Amari Cooper taking any pressure off of him. It was just a good game.
Yeah.
So
I can only imagine
Yeah.
what it's going to be like when you have these 2 guys on the field together. And I'm not saying Keon's some sort of stud, but I am saying that Keon is going to play the Gabe Davis role better than Gabe Davis ever could have imagined playing the Gabe Davis role. So you're going to get multiple games of Keon that's just 2 touchdowns out of nowhere because he has that capability. And the run game is alive and well. Ray Davis looks like a goddamn stud and has one of the best stories in the entire NFL, might I add. And the defense, it's not fully healthy right now, but it's getting fully healthy. I do fear, and the reason I put them at 4 is their run defense. Their run defense has been spotty all year. It's been spotty in the past, and that will probably end up being the death of them at some point or another. So at number 3, I agree with you, Chris. I wanted to put them higher, but I didn't. It is the Baltimore Ravens. I'm still questioning how good their defense actually is. I know we said they had a good defensive performance last night, but Baker costed them an early massive lead. That was big time. You cannot throw a pick in a situation like that to go up to potentially go up 3 scores if they got to 17. So all in all, I had to put the Ravens here, but this is greatest show on turf type offensive performance from the Ravens. So historical shit. These 2 are just different in the backfield. Rashad Bateman coming out party now. Isaiah Likely, we obviously saw what he did in week 1. It's any week, one of these receivers could just go absolutely crazy.
That cutback on the touchdown Bateman had was just like dirty.
Yeah, and he caught the the deep bomb, which dimed by Lamar, by the way, right in the breadbasket.
Lamar's playing lights out, bro. It's really insane.
He really is. So this leads me to say this. At number 2, of course I did. Of course I was the only one that didn't put them at 1. Where did you have the Chiefs?
I had them at 1.
Of course I'm the only one that didn't do it.
You don't respect greatness.
Kansas City Chiefs are at number 2 for me because of the way they've been winning. But, they're the Chiefs. The Chiefs is the Chiefs. But at number 1, there's an absolute wagon on the way to the Super Bowl right now, and that is the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff playing the best football of his life. You got a 2-headed monster in the backfield. You got the best offensive line in all of football, and it is not even close. Amon-Ra, one of the best wide receivers. J-Mo getting suspended again. God damn it. Sam Laporta out there not even doing anything right now because he doesn't have to. And then the defense, which is just seemingly going to improve week by week. They were handling the Vikings prior to that fumble 6, which kind of brought the game back a little bit. Never should have happened, but the fumble 6 put the Vikings back in the game. Prior to that, the Lions.
We got a record put on us. That's good.
The Lions were handling them, and it's just that simple. Shout out the 100%. Chiefs. Shout out Patrick Mahomes. They need to make a move. I don't think that this receiving core long-term can – I'm not going to say they can't win the Super Bowl because I'm not going to do that again. They definitely can win the Super Bowl. I have them at number 2. but they need a receiver. They desperately need a receiver. You get a receiver, I won't even question this. You get Deontay Johnson. I'll be like, you know what? Fuck the Lions, man. The Chiefs go up to number 1. But this receiving core is actually somehow worse than last year's receiving core.
Well, their best receiver got killed.
Well, yeah,
that'll do it.
I know, but we also
But I
didn't
get it.
really,
Yeah.
we didn't really plug in other parts. We thought Xavier Worthy was going to be a lot better than he has been to this point. He's a rookie. He's a very, very, very tiny rookie, might I add. Ayo. But all in all, I think the Chiefs are still the best team in the AFC. They're the class of the AFC. They're probably going to make the Super Bowl again one way or another. But I just think there's another wagon on the opposite conference, and it's the Detroit Lions.
It's funny because I put the Lions at 2 and I put the Chiefs at 1. He was switched
I
up.
think that was all of us. You guys had the Lions.
yeah,
I
the
did
Ravens,
say
yeah.
from
Yeah, the Ravens at
from
2.
the producer Mike. I did say last season that I think next year the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl.
Dude.
So
yeah.
I'd love to see how this ages.
But how are the Lions better than the Chiefs, bro?
I don't.
Better O-line. I know you're gonna whisper. I know you're gonna say Patrick Mahomes, and that's perfectly okay
That
because
is
Patrick
all I
Mahomes
need
is
to
that
say.
dude. But if you're going to ask me how the Lions are better than the Chiefs, I'm gonna give you an answer. I think they have a better offensive line by far. That's by far.
Sure.
Better running backs by far. They can control the shit out of the game against any team they play.
No, keep going.
Pat might
Draymond's
not even
playing
get the
some
ball.
Good ball right
Pat
now,
might
bro.
not even get the ball. But
I mean, Spags will shut that shit up real quick.
I don't know about this one. I don't know about this team.
Come on, man.
I don't know about this team.
Spags has never failed.
He also hasn't necessarily faced this wagon of a Detroit Lions team.
This guy.
This is different, bro. This Lions team is different. They could beat you in any which way. Any
Shane Steichen and them,
single
they were
way.
different in the Super Bowl, right? The Eagles were different. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan's different, right?
Well, let's talk about the turnover machine, Jalen Hurts over there.
He wasn't
Jalen
a turnover
Hurts
machine
Hurts
that year.
played. Everyone
No,
was
I know,
saying
I
how
know,
he
I
played
know,
better
I know.
than Mahomes. That
He fumbled and cost.
Sure.
The Super
What
Bowl.
about what about Shanahan?
But it's okay. But don't talk about Spags fucking shutting down the Eagles when they put like 30 on their domes.
Won the game,
He didn't.
He'll
He didn't
figure
shut
it
them
out.
down.
He'll figure it out.
but he did enough to win the game.
He didn't
thing
shut
is,
shit
like,
down
it-
though.
But he did
you're
enough to win the
but
game.
time out. You're not talking about. But you're not talking
But it's just
about.
a combination of everything. So, sure, Spags didn't shut them out. But when you have Mahomes,
Right.
when you have Spags, and when you have Andy Reid, it doesn't matter that the Lions have a good O-line.
Yeah, but you got Dan Campbell.
You've got two straight Super Bowls.
MCDC.
Nah,
Bro, you got
Motor
two
City,
straight.
bro.
Dan
You got two
Campbell.
straight.
I know.
Lions are a better football team overall than the Chiefs, but the Chiefs have the biggest X factor in all of football, and that is Patrick Mahomes. I
Who
get
do you
it.
think is more likely to win the Super Bowl?
The Detroit Lions.
Man.
The Detroit
They got to
Lions.
make podcast equipment more expensive.
The Detroit Lions are more likely
We
to
need
win
a
the Super
studio,
Bowl.
man.
As I said, as currently constructed, the Detroit Lions are more likely to win the Super Bowl than the Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean,
My opinion could change tomorrow if they trade for Cooper Kupp or they trade for Deontay Johnson. One receiver makes this a completely different game.
You know what I
right
think this comes down to? I think the Chiefs are a better franchise than the Lions, and that's
now.
where.
But don't
Well,
compare the two.
the
Do
Lions.
not compare
but-
the two.
no, but
because
I
I
feel
know what
like-
you're saying, but this Lions regime is different.
this is one of the best front offices,
Brand
if
new
not the
Lions.
best front
Yeah.
office.
I
in
do
all
still
the
trust
entire
the
NFL.
Chiefs'
Right.
overall regime
Yeah,
more
sure.
because you just
But I
have
think
to
the
because
Lions
they've
have
done their
have
things.
gotten-
But yeah, the Lions have a great organization.
No, but
Three
this
years.
This is where no, but that was kind of like when I really dig deep into like the reason why I put the Lions second and then the Chiefs first is like I look at like the franchise as a whole and I'm like, well, I guess you have to put the Chiefs at one. But if they did versus each other, that would be a fucking dogfight, bro. And I do think that the Chiefs would need like one more weapon offensively to kind of give them that edge over to where it's like no question the Chiefs win. You know what I mean? So it is kind of back to back. You know what I mean? It is like both of the backs.
Yeah, I mean,
I also think
At
the
the
Lions
end of
need
the-
to trade for an edge rusher.
At the end of the day,
That is happening.
anyone could beat anyone in football,
Right.
obviously. But just
I know the Chiefs are him.
I'm gonna take the guys that have won the
the
biggest game.
The Chiefs are
twice in a
defying
row.
that logic
Right.
because no
Yeah,
one
yeah,
can
yeah.
fucking beat them when it
Right.
matters.
Yeah. No,
I haven't
that's
played the
true.
Lions yet.
We're seeing it this year though. They're running through like it's not like they're beating nobodies either. They're
No, they're playing the best of the
they're
best right now,
beating
yeah.
good teams,
They
bro.
are.
Hell yeah.
I agree.
Like I know the 49ers are hobbled and shit, and like the box score was close, but like that shit wasn't close. Like it was never in doubt. Like
That's a battered like destroyed.
I know,
Niners.
but my point
Shell of
being is
itself
we've
at this
watched the
point.
Chiefs all year, and despite Patrick Mahomes leading the league in interceptions and playing like a bottom 10 quarterback in the league, like, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe this is just the Chiefs fan in me. It's, for me personally, watching them, it's never been
Never
in
in
doubt
doubt.
all year.
No.
Not a single second that they've played football this year have I thought Chiefs might lose this game. Not a second.
I agree because it's just the
Not a
factor
second.
of
I mean,
that,
the Ravens, in my opinion, but that was it. That was it. The Ravens were the only time. But like I said, I'm not saying that the Chiefs. I literally have them at number 2.
it also helps
they're the
having the refs
favorite.
on your side, forcing you to win every game. I
They're the
mean,
favorite in the
can't
AFC.
argue-
There's
can't
no
argue with
question.
that.
I agree with that. But I'm just saying, I think the
No,
Lions.
I completely agree. I'm being
Cheesecake,
sarcastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Lions are the best football team in the NFL.